Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Samantha Leighanne and I talk about books. Today I'm coming at you guys with a book tag. This is the A to Z book tag. I was not tagged by anybody, I just wanted to do it. This tag was actually created by a book blog, Jamie at the Perpetual Page Turner. I will link her blog down below. I also saw this video on Books and Lala's channel as well as several other people. So, point of the book tag is each letter of the alphabet has a question attached to it. So that means that there are 26 questions. So let's just go ahead and jump right into the questions. Author you have read the most books from? That is Stephen King. I read somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 and 30 of his books. I am trying to work my way through his library, so there's that. Best sequel ever? I don't know. I'm trying to do this as fast as I can, and honestly, I can't think of like a sequel that was wonderful, and the reason for that is because I'm really bad at series. I'm really bad at series, and I haven't read that many like duologies. Currently reading Nosferatu by Joe Hill and Homegoing by Ya Jasi. I don't remember if I said that right. Drink of choice while reading? Coffee, water, or wine? E-reader or a physical book? I like both. I see the merits of both. I mean, a book is a book. Reading, I'm not gonna be picky. I'm gonna read any book that I can. Fictional character that you probably would have dated in high school, and the answer to that is none, because I did not date in high school. I didn't start dating until after I was out of high school. And everybody before I met my husband, they were sad, sad, sad people. So, you know, the stereotypical brooding bullshit, whatever, is probably who I would have dated after high school, but I can't think of a name off the top of my head, so. Glad you gave this book a chance. Honestly, I kind of steer away from using Harry Potter in a lot of my book tags and top 5 Wednesdays and that kind of thing, but I would honestly have to say Harry Potter, because when those books first came out, I was like, I'm too fucking cool for those, because y'all, I was younger. But everybody was like, oh my god, Harry Potter, and I was like, nah, I'm good, thanks. And my cousin, who is my best friend, started reading them, and she was like, listen, you need to, like, you just gotta do it. And I did, and I'm really, really glad that I did, because those books are wonderful and they mean a lot to me. Hidden gem book, I'm gonna go with one that I read fairly recently. That's Happiness Like Water by Chinelo Oparanta. It was a very, very beautiful book. I have seen nobody on BookTube talk about it, like, at all. So definitely highly recommend. Check it out. Important moment in your reading life. Honestly, I would have to say one of the most important moments in recent memory was reading the Twilight series. And the reason that I say that is because reading that series is really what reignited my love for reading. Those books came out and everybody was reading them, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll jump on the bandwagon. And when I first read them, I absolutely loved them. Going back through a reread, and not so much, but that was really what reignited my love for reading. That was what led to me being a book blogger several years later. That's what led me to where I am now. So, just finished, most recently, Happiness Like Water by Chinelo Oparanta. Kinds of books you won't read. I don't read outright romance. And by outright romance, I mean like the Fabio book cover kind of stuff. I'll read pretty much anything else. I don't read a lot of nonfiction, not because I dislike nonfiction, just because, I don't know, it's just not something that I find myself reaching for, but yeah. Longest book that you've read, that's probably going to be The Stand by Stephen King, because the version that I have is over 1,000 pages. Major book hangover because of The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, and the reason that I say that is because I could not, like, when I read that book, I lost my shit, like, ugly cry. Ugly crying. My husband was like, what is wrong with you? He wasn't my husband at the time. He was just my boyfriend. But he's like, why are you crying? He's like sitting next to me, and I'm like, and I was devastated for several days after that. And like, it was just so bad. It was so bad, and it was so good at the same time. So yeah, I honestly can't think of another book that like really did that to me off the top of my head. So, number of bookcases you own. I only have one bookcase, like, you know, big bookcase, and then I have a smaller one that's kind of like those cube things that you can put like fabric bins in. I have 2 of those, and they're like half cubes of stuff like CDs, DVDs, that kind of stuff, and then the other half are books. I got one of them downstairs, a smaller one, and then I have the bigger one upstairs, actually in the room that I film in. I'm not showing it because it's a hot ass mess, but I guess that would be 3. I don't know. Okay. One book you have read multiple times. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. I've probably read that book upwards of 15 times. Don't you judge me. Preferred place to read: on my couch or in my bed. Quote that inspires you, gives you all the feels from a book. This one is just one. I've mentioned this book 3 times. Sorry, it's just fresh in my mind because I just finished it the other day. But this is from Happiness Like Water. And this is actually where the name of the book was inspired from. Happiness is like water, she says. We're always trying to grab onto it, but it's always slipping between our fingers. She looks down at her hands. And my fingers are thin, she says, with lots of gaps in between. And that book really kind of illustrates a lot of what this book is about. And I feel like that's also, you know, true of life in a way. You're never going to be happy all the time. I could go much further into it, but for the sake of time, I will not. Reading regret. I don't have any. I don't think I regret reading a single book that I've ever read. Yeah, I don't have any. Series that you started that you need to finish, and all the books are out. Where do I begin? I need to finish Heroes of Olympus, Vampire Chronicles, the Sookie Stackhouse novels, Mistborn. I need to finish a lot of books. Those are just the ones that are coming up off the top of my head. 3 of your all-time favorite books off the top of my head: Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Drawing of the Three by Stephen King, the entire Narnia series. The Silver Chair is probably my favorite one out of that series. I don't know why, I just love that story. Unapologetic fangirl for Stephen King. You guys, like, can't get through a video without hearing about Stephen King, so sorry not sorry. Very excited for this release more than all the others. I honestly don't pay that close attention to most new releases. I know that sounds really bad. A couple of books that I have pre-ordered though that I'm waiting for releases are The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas and When Dimple Met Rishi. I can't remember the author's name. Sorry, I suck. I'll put pre-order links below if you so desire to look at those though. Worst bookish habit. That is definitely, I haven't done this recently, so hopefully like bringing it up won't make me do it again, but I have this really bad habit of like going through and when I'm reading a book, like reading the last couple pages of a book because like I need to know what happens. And I don't know why I do that. I'm a very impatient person and I don't like surprises. This is why I'm like constantly trying to guess stuff, but yeah. X marks the spot. Start at the top left of your bookshelf and pick the 27th book. So I already said that my big bookcase is downstairs, so hang on just a second while I go get that. So that shelf happens to be my classic shelf, so the 27th book that I have is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Your latest book purchase, if we're not counting pre-orders that I've ordered and haven't come in yet, then that would be Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. The Snatcher book, or The Last Book That Kept You Up Too Late, which would have to be Homegoing by Yajasi. I was up till like 1 in the morning the other night reading that, so that's a thing. So that was the A to Z book tag. I think I did a pretty good job, like not being super long-winded like I usually am, so I'm pretty proud of that. If you haven't done this tag, I tag you. I can't I can't think of people like off the top of my head. So yeah. As always, if you like this video and you want to see more, make sure you give me a big thumbs up and hit subscribe if you have not already. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you all next time. Bye!